Alright, it can be very rare for anything to actually stick to the source material when you're talking about adaptations, especially when it's the Super Friends version of Mortal Kombat, but they may have made a masterpiece with this episode. Okay, so we start off with Stryker's training exercise. He scores 9 out of 10 targets and Sub-Zero's having none of it. Its perfect scores are not with Sub-Zero. To prove it, he makes a bet with Stryker that he can do all 10 and then proceeds to do it blindfolded, a completely unnecessary flex. As a punishment, he's forcing Stryker into ninja training. I guess they forgot that separation between the Lin Kuei and ninjas, but that's another conversation. Computer Genius gets a new report on a rip in Earth's dimensional fabric. That phrase gets used a lot. Sub-Zero knows who it is because they can't track a body. It's just infrared detection of smoke. Then Sub-Zero gives a brief history of his past with Smoke and the Lin Kuei, which may be the best part of this episode, by the way. We get the origins of Smoke and Sub-Zero, but we also get a brief appearance of an unmasked version of Cyrax and Sector. The first time I believe this was ever done in Mortal Kombat, though obviously when they did it in the games they reversed the ethnicities. Cyrax became black and Sector was Asian as opposed to the reverse here in the cartoon. They make it a point to show how close Sub-Zero and Smoke were as brothers, especially considering at this point Bi-Han would have entered the Mortal Kombat tournament, meaning he's at the brink of death at this point.
To win, you must use the component which brings life.
The Lin Kuei and Grandmaster have already automated Cyrax and Sector. They just show up firing inside of the temple, which has to be a hazard, but never mind. When Sub-Zero and Smoke try to escape, the Grandmaster and the rest of the Lin Kuei hunt after him. Somehow Smoke gets left behind when him and Sub-Zero flee together. And for the first time we see the Grandmaster in action and he turns out to be a shapeshifter, which is kinda crazy. Shang Tsung turns into people, the Lin Kuei Grandmaster is just turning into anything at this point. Again, I don't get how Smoke got lost in the fog, but he does, and gets kicked in the chest by the Grandmaster. Like he just continuously got kicked in the chest. After an unnecessary punch in the stomach, Sub-Zero shows up and attacks the Grandmaster. Sub-Zero tries to escape and for whatever reason Smoke refuses. You can take a guess as to what happens to Smoke. It's the dumbest thing Smoke was begging to get caught. I know no other way to explain this. And of course Sub-Zero holds himself responsible for Smoke becoming a cyborg. Sub-Zero wants to face Smoke alone just to see if there's still a human somewhere inside the robot. Again, sounds dumb to me, but that was his plan. Sub-Zero goes through this maze inside of a cave to try and get into the Lin Kuei without being detected. This really does seem like a lot of work, by the way, but he eventually finds him anyways and kicks him in the chest. That is a big thing in this episode for whatever reason. Also note he tied his hands up before doing this too. Sub-Zero keeps trying to reason with Smoke as he attacks him. Doesn't matter, the Grandmaster shows up anyways. I'm gonna be honest, I kinda love the design of the Grandmaster in the show. It's a shame he never made an appearance in a game before. And guess who? Cyrax and Sector shows up. Continuity problem here. Sub-Zero throws a blast at Cyrax and Sector, who dodges it and magically appears next to the Grandmaster, so I don't know what happened there. Then they bomb Sub-Zero. Now they take him back to the compound. Or at least they try to before the combat friends show up. We get a Katana appearance as she takes out some robots for Sub-Zero, whose ice ball does not work on the Grandmaster for reasons I don't understand. With the ability to withstand Sub-Zero's ice powers, the Grandmaster still runs away. And again, Sub-Zero's trying to have a conversation with Smoke as he's being attacked. Sub-Zero almost falls off a cliff when Smoke saves him, and then continues to try to fight him. Why, I don't know. Smoke seems conflicted out of nowhere, but just refuses to fight. He then teleports the Grandmaster away. So ice is no weakness, but the smoke is. I don't know what kind of bird this is, but the Grandmaster turns into it and tries to fly away. He's still trying to find Sub-Zero. Cyrax and Sector escape through a portal without the Grandmaster. Well, all except for this robot that gets killed. Raiden shows up late as usual to close the portal, pretty much the only thing he does this entire series. Though Raiden is a smartass in this show and it's awesome.
I don't have a clue.
So Jack Perry's father finds Smoke one more time to try to convince him to leave the Lin Kuei. And for the second or third time in the show, the Grandmaster attacks him and then puts him in the ankle lock. I'm not making this up. Now he grows claws and Sub-Zero freezes them. Again, didn't work earlier, works this time. Don't know why. Sub-Zero tries fighting off whatever this is that the Grandmaster turned himself into. For lack of a better term, I'll just call him a dragon of some kind. The Grandmaster wants Sub-Zero's soul, so he pretty much just is Lin Kuei Shang Tsung. But Smoke intervenes and tells Sub-Zero to go away. This time Sub-Zero doesn't leave without him. We almost get the ending of Juice for the Lin Kuei, or at least Scar and Mufasa. But Sub-Zero saves Smoke, and then Smoke disappears without him. And they've at least escaped the Grandmaster for now. So a sad Sub-Zero staring into the sunset. As the combat friends arrive, and Sub-Zero reminds Stryker of his ninja training that he has to get done. And we actually don't get a notice of another fabric tear before the episode ends. I'm actually shocked. Being honest, yes, this is a corny Saturday morning cartoon, so there's a lot of cheesy dialogue in this show. That being said though, the tale of Sub-Zero escaping the Lin Kuei and then the confrontation he has with the Grandmaster and Smoke makes this single episode worth watching and is one of the best of the series. I actually recommend this and the Scorpion episode. But anyways, that was the Lin Kuei episode. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'm out.